Washington state have agreed to back off the controversial effort to force priests to report confessions of abuse, putting an end to a legal battle over the new state law. A motion filed in federal district court on October 10th confirmed that state and local governments would no longer attempt to require priests to report child abuse disclosed during the sacrament of reconciliation. In a press release, the state attorney general's office shared that the clergy would remain mandatory reporters under state law, but prosecutors would agree not to enforce reporting requirements for information clergy learned through confessions or its equivalent in other faiths. The agreement ends a controversial effort by Washington state officials to override one of the Catholic Church's most sacred and inviolable doctrines. Mark Rainsy, president and CEO of Becket Law, which helped represent the plaintiffs, stated on Friday that the agreement was a victory for religious freedom. He shared that this outcome is a win for both religious liberty and basic common sense. No priest should be ever put in a position of choosing between violating sacred vows or facing imprisonment. Washington revised the mandatory reporting law earlier this year, signed by Governor Robert Ferguson, added clergy to the list of mandatory abuse reporters in the state, leaving the priests out of the privileged communication, an exception afforded by other professionals. The state's bishop succeeded in halting the law in federal court in July. In his July ruling, District Judge David Estudillo stated that there were no question that the law infringed upon the free exercise of religion. The judge wrote that in cases where priests hear confessions involving child abuse or neglect, the law forces them to choose between adhering to the religious obligations or breaking the law. Alliance Defending Freedom senior counsel John Brush stated that the Washington was targeting priests by compelling them to break the sacred confidentiality of confession, which ranks as a religious discrimination. The Washington State Catholic Conference on Platform X noted that the church leaders in the state consistently supported the law's broader goal of strengthening protection of minors. In every other setting than the confessional, the church has long supported and continues to support the mandatory reporting. Long before the law was passed, Spokane Bishop Thomas Daly assured Catholics in the state that priests would choose imprisonment over breaking the seal of confession.